Dr. Doom has massacred every superhero in Fortnite, leaving a gruesome collection of trophies. In his tower overlooking the kingdom, he is secretly working on his master plan, and we think this is what'll kickstart Fortnite mares and bring Marvel zombies to the island. This is all possible thanks to Pandora's box. When it was opened, it began a domino effect, and since our last video, we learned something crazy. So we've talked about how Valyria opened the chest, causing the Greek gods who left it here to be unleashed. They were furious at her for this, and Zeus swore to punish all mortals for disobeying his orders. After a whole season of fighting, Jones and the leader of the underground teamed up with the gods to defeat Zeus once and for all. Except in his final burst of energy, he activated Pandora's box again, summoning a giant sandstorm, and along with it, Megalodon. He crash-landed into this desert, claiming to be Lord of the Wasteland, while secretly working with someone known only as the Wanderer. Dawn's ship was out of fuel and could only be powered by a substance called nitro. It's exclusively found on Fortnite's island, and currently one person had a monopoly on it, the Machinist. She owned a rig in the desert that was actively pumping nitro out of the sand and refining it into fuel. Luckily for Dawn, the Machinist was willing to help him power his ship, except it would take some time as they needed to construct an entire pipeline from the rig straight to the Leviathan. The only people unfazed by this were Hope and Jones. They were pretty confident taking on someone as minuscule as Megalodon after everything. But with his power of nitro, they needed to find a way to weaken him, and that's when Hope remembered Pandora's box. It hadn't gone anywhere, it was still here buried underneath the sand. So Hope and Jones tracked down gems belonging to Pandora, putting them together to show constellations and visions of the future. One of these was a helmet which resembled someone already exploring the island, Wastelander Magneto. Outside of the desert, he was busy breaking open a bunker containing Weapon X, all while trying to get to the bottom of Dawn's plan. Hope, seeing these constellations, tracked him down to figure out why is he so important. He tells her about his suspicions, pointing out that Dawn isn't the main threat, there's a villain that's controlling him like a puppet. It's the Wanderer who keeps showing up and watching us from a distance. Magneto thinks this Wanderer is more dangerous to reality than Megalodon could ever be. So as a precaution, Magneto sets up beacons to call for reinforcements. And that's when they heard the news. The nitro pipeline was complete, Leviathan was about to be refueled, and the island would be razed to the ground. In a wild turn of events, Magneto was right. Megalodon had been played like a fool. The Wanderer's cloak had finally shed, and his true identity was exposed. This whole time, he was one of the most powerful villains the island has ever seen, Dr. Doom. This explosion revealed everything, leaving a giant hole in the sand to uncover Pandora's box. This whole time, Doom had been leading Megalodon down the wrong path just so he could get this. He was actually the true meaning behind the helmet constellation, warning us all along how he would use its power to dominate reality. With Doom now revealing himself, he had a lot of obstacles to get through to conquer the island, and by obstacles, I mean people. With his new strength, he would gather powerful allies like Emma Frost and Mysterio to create his Kingdom of Doom. However, the number of those willing to stop him was much greater. Magneto's suspicions were right, and he tried to stop Doom, except with the power of Pandora, he had no chance. Doom destroyed Magneto and displayed his head as a trophy. Before this, Magneto would call for help from a familiar reality, one that has come to rescue the island in the past, 616. It was the same reality that helped us rift away Galactus, defeat the IO, and destroy the Loop once and for all not too long ago. The Fantastic Four, Moon Knight, and Silver Surfer rushed to stop Doom, but once again, he was way too powerful, killing each and every one of them as he got more unstoppable by the day. Now the island was full of his trophies, including the remains of Galactus cold and dead in the water. There was no one left to stop Doom. The island was his. Initially, people resisted his authority, but he was smart enough to fix that. He wouldn't be a total warlord like Megalodon. He would take care of his utopia so that all his subjects wouldn't hate him, even if at the end of the day he was a dictator. It doesn't completely stop our resistance effort. It's finally starting to take shape as Hope and Jones work together on a plan. This time around, Hope has donned a new outfit, while Jones is gifted a shield and armor from Steve Rogers. I guess he must be old and retired to Reality 616 as well. But it's not just them, we've also gotten allies like Shuri, who helped us in the Zero War, and Pulverine, who broke out of the Weapon X bunker last season. Working with Shuri, Jones and Hope decide to reactivate rift beacons that Magneto left behind before he died. We discover Gwenpool locked away in the raft and need a recruiter to our cause. So gaining intel from the guards, we hack into their systems with the password Cynthia, the name of Dr. Doom's mother. Giving the flash drive to Gwenpool, we let her plan her own escape while heading to Shuri to help with the resistance. Shuri asks to find Rift Tech, which she'll eventually use to get Magneto's Rift beacons up and running again. Whoever this brings, it's gonna be the most important development in the storyline, and I'll get into our #1 suspect soon. Especially when you realize Doom is summoning an even crazier villain that is somehow more powerful than him. All of this is brewing in the background of Chapter 5's biggest storyline reveals as we learn more about Hope and her past. We've already gotten hints that Hope isn't her real name, but we also know she's related to Valeria. That's her sister who started this entire mess by unleashing Pandora's box. It turns out their family had ties to the pantheon of Greek gods this whole time. It explains how they knew about the box and were able to track it down. This is without me even mentioning another character who has been controlling our heroes from a distance, the Oracle. She's been here for months, putting visions into Hope's head and helping her avoid a total disaster. This Oracle warned of the Wasteland and the coming of Doom. So now that we understand Hope is related to the Greek gods, it makes sense why the Oracle chose her. The question you're all asking, what is going on with Dr. Doom? Now that he's conquered the island, what does he really want to do with this newfound power? Well, his motive is actually less sinister than you might think. This whole time, everything Doom has done is for his late mother, Cynthia. She is all over the map in the form of statues, stained glass windows, and tributes. He has one mission: to bring her back to life. With the power of Pandora's box, he's killed off all threats to his plan, both heroes and villains alike. And with the citizens of the island in love with him at this point, they're helping to build a giant tower near the castle. As it bellows smoke from the top, looking inside reveals a huge vat of lava and a symbol belonging to one of Marvel's most terrifying creatures. To get to the bottom of this, Hope leaves recording devices near Doom. It turns out when he summoned the power of Pandora, a huge chunk of his armor was broken off, forcing him to design a new set. We steal the prototype and analyze it before listening to the recordings.
Mother, I am building my new kingdom. This place reeks of failure, of fault, of imperfection. But it will not be this way for long. I will set this place to order. I will make it perfect. By gentle guiding hand, or by brutal fist of submission.
Okay, that sounds an awful lot like someone we know. I guess Doom wants to make his own version of the imagined order. But that's not all. The recordings also reveal how unstable he is. It turns out while this whole thing started with trying to revive his mother, now his thirst for power is unquenchable.
I thought it would cheer me to gaze upon this crumbling monument. Instead, I feel nothing but vacant hunger. It must be the box. It is exhilarating, but it is also wild, chaotic, uncontrolled. My work nears completion. When all is reborn in my perfect image, I will never fail again.
Yeah, the power trip has now begun, with Doom's henchmen excavating the island in search of artifacts. The Resistance has also discovered a whiteboard in Doomstat where his plan shows areas to dig, along with a strange circle in the middle. I'll get to this in a moment, but right now we gotta focus on the main plan. As we speak, Doom is studying Pandora's box further after somehow acquiring Valeria's book. It's placed on a pedestal at the top of the castle, and once he learns its secrets, completing his upgraded armor, he'll be unstoppable. Right now we're relying on heroes like Shuri and Hope to defeat him, but considering who Doom has killed to get to this point, it's not looking good. But like I mentioned earlier, Shuri is busy getting those Rift beacons active again, and they'll bring a hero who could truly shift the tide of battle: Iron Man. We've relied on Tony Stark to save us before, as he came in and rifted Galactus away from the 0 point. Once he learns about Doom's plan, I have a theory that could solve everything. Think about it, Dr. Doom has basically murdered everyone in his way, and if there's one solution Stark is always known for, it's time travel. Once he comes to the island, he could build a time machine, not only saving everyone and stopping Doom before he finds Pandora's box, but taking us back to Chapter 2. It's something that is 100% confirmed to be happening next season, and would be the perfect tether connecting the Marvel storyline with the finale of Chapter 5. So, if we go back in time, it's because Doom has gone too far. Let's head back to the Tower of Lava I mentioned, as this is currently the biggest threat to reality. Remember the symbol? This belongs to Mephisto, a sickeningly powerful demon. Doom is trying to summon him for one reason, to bargain for his mother's soul. Except as we all know, trying to make a deal with the devil, it never works out. There is always an unexpected side effect. This is where my next theory comes in, and you gotta watch it to the end because it's crazy. Those unexpected consequences I was talking about, well, when you have a demon who is bringing back people from the dead, he probably has the power to bring them back worse than when they were alive. It's making me think, what if Mephisto turns our fallen heroes and villains into zombies? Probably thinking I'm a nut job, but this is something that happens all the time in Marvel. Old comics have brought the Avengers and Fantastic Four back from the dead, and if Mephisto pulls this off, it would explain how Tony Stark needs to urgently send us back in time and undo all the damage. In fact, the Secret Wars comics actually ended with Black Panther attacking Dr. Doom's castle with an army of zombies. And the reason I think this could come true is because season 4 ends at a crucial time, Halloween, and Fortnite with a Marvel twist would suit this theory perfectly. So, if this happens, and then we travel back to chapter 2, where does the storyline go from there? Knowing that we'll be going back right before the flood season, and 2 gold vehicles in the promotional images, the device and Midas could play a big role in how this chapter comes to its conclusion.